Imagine the sky darkening to a bruised, unnatural purple-gray in the middle of the day. The wind, once a whisper, now shrieks with an intensity that seems to shake the very foundations of the world. Rain doesn't fall. It's driven sideways, a blinding, stinging onslaught. This is the heart of a Category 5 hurricane, the most formidable and feared of all tropical cyclones. A force of nature so immense it can reshape landscapes and erase communities. Today, we're going inside the unrelenting fury of a Category 5 hurricane. A Category 5 is the absolute pinnacle of the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. It's a chilling designation reserved for storms with sustained winds of 157 miles per hour, or about 252 kilometers per hour or greater. But these aren't just gusts. This is a relentless, unyielding assault. The official description from the National Hurricane Center is stark. A high percentage of framed homes will be destroyed, with total roof failure and wall collapse. Fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas. Power outages will last for weeks, possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for an extended period. To put its power into perspective, a Category 5 storm is capable of inflicting 500 times more damage than a Category 1. So how is such a meteorological monster born? The genesis begins in the warm, tropical waters of our planet, typically between 5 and 20 degrees of latitude north or south of the equator. Here, a seemingly innocuous weather disturbance can encounter a perfect storm of conditions. The first and most crucial ingredient is warm ocean water, specifically, a sea surface temperature of at least 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or 26.5 Celsius. That extends down to a depth of about 50 meters. This warm water acts as the engine, providing the vast amounts of heat and moisture that are the hurricane's lifeblood. As this warm, moist air rises from the ocean's surface, it creates an area of lower pressure below. Air from surrounding areas with higher pressure pushes into that low-pressure zone, where it too is warmed and rises. As this process continues, the rising water vapor condenses into clouds and rain, releasing a tremendous amount of what's called latent heat. This heat warms the surrounding air, causing it to rise even faster and creating a self-sustaining cycle of strengthening. Another critical factor is low vertical wind shear. Think of wind shear as the change in wind speed and direction with height. Strong upper-level winds can act like a pair of scissors, shearing the top of a developing storm off its base and disrupting its structure. But in an environment with low wind shear, the storm can maintain its vertical alignment, allowing heat and moisture to be efficiently channeled upwards, like a perfectly ventilated chimney. High humidity and the Coriolis force, a product of the Earth's rotation that gives the storm its spin, are the final key ingredients. When all these conditions align perfectly, a tropical disturbance can undergo rapid intensification. This is defined as an increase in maximum sustained winds of at least 35 miles per hour in a 24-hour period. Many of the most powerful Category 5s in history have undergone this explosive strengthening, sometimes catching forecasters and coastal communities completely by surprise. Once formed, the terrifying power of a Category 5 hurricane is unleashed through a trifecta of destructive forces: extreme winds, torrential rainfall, and the catastrophic storm surge. Let's start with the wind. The winds of a Category 5 are not just strong. They are a destructive force capable of turning everyday objects into deadly projectiles. With sustained speeds over 157 miles per hour and even higher gusts, these winds can peel roofs from houses like can lids, shatter windows, and cause entire structures to collapse. Mobile homes are often completely destroyed. The sound alone has been described by survivors as a relentless, deafening roar, like a freight train that never, ever passes. The destructive power of the wind extends beyond buildings. Trees are uprooted, power lines are torn down, and communication towers are twisted into unrecognizable shapes. The sheer force can drive debris with such power that it can penetrate solid objects, like a piece of plywood being driven straight through the trunk of a palm tree. But while the winds grab the headlines, the water a hurricane brings can be just as, if not more, deadly. A warmer atmosphere can hold more moisture, which means modern hurricanes can produce truly staggering amounts of rainfall. This leads to widespread and catastrophic inland flooding, often far from where the hurricane actually made landfall. Rivers and streams overflow their banks, inundating towns. In mountainous terrain, the heavy rain can trigger devastating landslides and mudslides, burying homes under tons of earth. This flooding can persist for days after the storm has passed, creating a long-lasting and hazardous situation. Yet perhaps the most terrifying weapon in a Category 5's arsenal is the storm surge. This is not a tidal wave. It's an abnormal rise of water generated by the storm's powerful winds pushing water towards the shore. The low pressure at the storm center also contributes to this rise in sea level. The result is a massive dome of water, tens of miles wide, that can reach heights of over 20 feet. This wall of water crashes ashore with incredible force, capable of destroying everything in its path. Buildings that might have withstood the winds are no match for the power of the surge. The water can travel several miles inland, turning coastal communities into extensions of the sea. Historically, storm surge has been the leading cause of hurricane-related deaths in the United States. This terrifying power is not theoretical. It's etched into the historical record by a series of devastating storms. For decades, the benchmark for destruction was Hurricane Camille in 1969. It made landfall on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, with estimated winds of 200 miles per hour and a storm surge that reached a peak of 24 feet. It pushed water several blocks inland, wiping entire communities off the map. Tragically, a group of people at the Richelieu Manor Apartments decided to have a hurricane party to ride out the storm. The building was completely demolished, a testament to the folly of underestimating such a force. Camille's terror didn't even end at the coast. Its remnants dumped torrential rain on Virginia, causing catastrophic flash floods and mudslides that killed over 100 people. Then came Hurricane Andrew in 1992, an urban nightmare for South Florida. Andrew was a compact but incredibly powerful storm, and its primary weapon was wind. Sustained speeds of 165 miles per hour, with gusts up to 174 miles per hour. Entire neighborhoods in southern Miami-Dade County, particularly in the city of Homestead, were obliterated. Over 25,000 homes were destroyed, and another 100,000 were damaged. The devastation was so complete that familiar landmarks were simply gone. Andrew served as a massive wake-up call, leading to significant and long overdue changes in Florida's building codes. More recently, in 2017, Hurricane Maria delivered a devastating blow to Puerto Rico. It made landfall as a high-end Category 4, but its impacts were as severe as any Category 5. The storm plunged the entire island into darkness by destroying the power grid. For many, power wouldn't be restored for months. This had a cascading effect, crippling communications, water supplies, and the healthcare system. The initial death toll was low, but subsequent studies revealed the true number of fatalities was in the thousands, many dying in the weeks and months after the storm, from a lack of access to medical care and other essential services. Maria highlighted the unique vulnerabilities of island nations and the immense challenge of rebuilding after a total infrastructure collapse. This brings us to a critical question. What does the future hold? The scientific consensus is clear. Our warming planet is impacting hurricanes. While there's still debate on whether we'll see more hurricanes overall, a growing body of evidence suggests that climate change is making the strongest storms even stronger. Warmer ocean temperatures provide more fuel, allowing storms to intensify more rapidly and reach higher peak intensities. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, leading to heavier rainfall and more inland flooding. And as global sea levels continue to rise, the storm surge from any given hurricane becomes more dangerous, pushing further inland and causing more damage. Recent hurricane seasons have provided a chilling glimpse of this future. The number of Category 5 hurricanes has been on the rise, and that phenomenon of rapid intensification seems to be more common. The implications are deeply concerning. Coastal communities worldwide face an increased risk from more powerful and destructive storms. The physical destruction is plain to see. But the storm's impact on the human psyche is a hidden and long-lasting wound. The experience of living through such a terrifying event, of fearing for your life and witnessing the destruction of your home, can leave deep psychological scars. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is common among survivors, with symptoms like flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety. Children are particularly vulnerable. The long-term recovery of a community must therefore include not just rebuilding homes and infrastructure, but also providing mental health support. So in the face of this awesome power, what can we do? Human ingenuity and resilience are put to the ultimate test. First, forecasting. Predicting the track of a hurricane has improved dramatically thanks to satellite technology, computer modeling, and data from hurricane hunter aircraft. Forecasters can now predict, with a high degree of accuracy, where a storm is likely to make landfall, giving communities valuable time. However, forecasting a storm's intensity, especially that rapid intensification we talked about, remains a significant challenge. This uncertainty makes it difficult to provide adequate warning and highlights the need for continued research. Given this destructive potential, preparedness is not a suggestion. It is a matter of survival. For individuals, this means having a hurricane plan, an emergency kit, and knowing your evacuation routes. For communities, it means enforcing strong building codes, investing in coastal protection like seawalls and dune restoration, and having robust emergency response plans. Finally, there's the long road to recovery. The aftermath of a Category 5 is a scene of chaos. The immediate priorities are search and rescue and providing basic needs. But rebuilding is a monumental task that can take years, even decades. It involves not just physical reconstruction, but the social and economic recovery of the community. In the end, the story of a Category 5 hurricane is not just one of destruction. It's also one of the indomitable spirit of those who survive, rebuild, and find a way to start anew. It's a powerful, terrifying reminder of nature's fury and a testament to the human resilience required to face it.